Good morning, everybody. So, today I want to share with you the story of a donkey and its owner. It's found in the book of Numbers, and um, I'm going to start with verse 22. And I'm going to finish with verse 35. So it's going to be a little bit of a longer read than usual this morning. But God was angry because he was going, and the angel of the Lord took his stand in the way as an adversary against him. Now he was riding on his donkey, and his two servants were with him. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand, the donkey turned off from the way and went into the field. But Balaam struck the donkey to turn her back into the way. Then the angel of the Lord stood in a narrow path of the vineyards, with a wall on this side and a wall on that side. When the donkey saw the angel of the Lord, she pressed herself to the wall and pressed Balaam's foot against the wall so that he struck her again. The angel of the Lord went further and stood in a narrow place where there was no way to turn to the right hand or the left. But the donkey saw the angel of the Lord. She lay down under Balaam. So Balaam was angry and struck with the donkey with his stick. And the Lord opened the mouth of the donkey, and she said to Balaam, "What have I done to you that you have struck me these 3 times?" Then Balaam said to the donkey, "Because you have made a mockery of me. If there had been a sword in my hand, I would have killed you by now." The donkey said to Balaam, "Am I not your donkey on which you have ridden all your life to this day? Have I ever been accustomed to do so to you?" And he said, "No." Then the Lord opened the eyes of Balaam, and he saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand, and he bowed all the way to the ground. The angel of the Lord said to him, "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I have come out as an adversary because your way was contrary to me. But the donkey saw me and turned aside from me these 3 times. If she had not turned aside from me, I would surely have killed you just now and let her live." Balaam said to the angel of the Lord, "I have sinned, for I did not know you were standing in the way against me. Now then, if it is displeasing to you, I will turn back." But the angel of the Lord said to Balaam, "Go with the men, but you shall speak only the word which I tell you." So Balaam went along with the leaders of Balak. So this is a story about Balaam and his donkey. Okay, so Balaam was asked to place a curse against the Israelites for Balak, and so that he might be able to defeat the Israelites. Well, he was warned not to do this. He was warned not to go with them. But he did anyways because he wanted the Israelites to suffer. So as he was writing, God sent his angel down to block his path. Now the donkey could see this angel with a sword drawn, and the donkey was not going to have anything of it. The donkey's like, "Nope," and turned aside. Well, Balaam got angry, forced it back onto the road or the pathway. So the angel went a little bit further, blocked another passage. And this time the donkey was between 2 walls. So the donkey pressed himself so hard that he was crushing Balaam's foot against the wall. Balaam struck the donkey again. And so the angel goes further down their path. Sword still drawn, standing right in the way. And the donkey was like, you know what? Forget this. I am not going any further. And completely stops. And Balaam, of course, gets angry again, hits the donkey, and then the Lord gave the donkey a voice. And the donkey's like, why are you hitting me? And Balaam says, because you're making a fool. You're making me look like a fool. And the donkey's like, basically the donkey's like, have I not served you all these years? Why would I do that to you? Has it been in my nature to ever do that to you? And of course, Balaam said no. And at that moment, God opened the eyes of Balaam so he could see what the donkey was seeing. And Balaam was like, whoa, okay. So, and the angel tells Balaam, look, your donkey saved your life 3 times. And at that point, Balaam realizes that he sinned, but I don't think he was completely sorrowful for his intent on what he was trying to do to the Israelites. I think he made that confession about sinning just because I think that is what he wanted, the angel of the Lord to hear. I think he was trying to play politician. I mean, he was just like, hey, if you're all upset with this, I'll go back the other way. I won't go with these guys, But God already had a plan to work out through him, and in the end, instead of cursing the Israelites, Balaam ends up cursing Balak, the very king who hired him to place a curse on the Israelites. Because God was not going to allow the Israelites to be defeated by this king, and especially not let one of their own place a curse on their own people. Because Balaam, if I remember right, Balaam was also an Israelite. I think. And the reason why Malak did this is because the Israelites had already defeated the Amorites. Now, this is not the promised land. This was going up to the promised land. So, but this was not the promised land that they were fighting in. But I guess my point is, I'm kind of getting long here. The point is to focus on the donkey. The donkey represents anything that is trying to protect you from something that's in your way. So, like, if you're just completely determined and bent to do something, but something keeps seeming to getting into the way of what you're trying to do, it might be an indication that you aren't meant to do that, and that you're not supposed to do that. And in this case, the donkey was there to doing his job, protecting his owner from harm. But his pride, his determination, and his need for revenge, or his desire just to hurt the Israelites, was so great, he was blind and couldn't see what the donkey was seeing. The donkey was seeing the truth of the matter of the situation, that this was not going to end well for his master, if he kept going forward. So whenever we are bound and determined to get something done and something seems to be getting in the way, or if we have somebody who may be getting in our way, or who are preventing us from doing what we're trying to get done, we might want to take a step back and think, well, maybe I'm not supposed to be doing this. Because we have free will, God gives us free will. But God will provide chances for us to stop from doing what we're not supposed to be doing. But like Balak, when he was faced with the truth, and when the truth was revealed to him, it was already, I guess you can kind of say, too late. He realized too late. He didn't take the hints. He missed the hints. He missed the clues altogether that he should forget this, stop what he's doing, and go home. Sometimes when we have interruptions like the donkey provided for Balaam, we need to really stop and think and reverse course, because even when the truth is revealed to us and we still try to say what we think somebody wants to hear, but internally we are still bound and determined to do what we set out to do. I mean, God will let us. God will let us do it. He's given us free will, but there's going to be consequences to that free will and to that disobedience. And in the case of Balaam, he eventually dies as a result of his need for hurting the Israelites for whatever reason, because he didn't heed the warnings. He did not heed and pay attention to the warnings. He was stiff-necked, stubborn, and would not yield to the Lord. If we don't yield to the Lord when he dishes out warning signs to us to get us to stop, whether it be through a situation that keeps us from continuing our path, or whether it be friends or family members, or even a stranger who comes in to our lives and does something contrary to what we're used to, it means we really need to pause and think about what we're doing before it's too late. And then definitely don't try to put the wool over God's eyes and give him lip service on what we think he wants to hear, because he knows better. He knows what's in the heart. He knows what's in our mind. He knows when we're being genuine or when we're not being genuine. And and every little careless thing that we do or say, if we don't truly repent of it and ask for forgiveness with a sincere heart, it's just lip service to God, and we're going to have to account for that careless action, for that careless word, because our pride and our arrogance got in the way of doing what the Lord wanted us to do, or prevented us from not doing something that the Lord is trying to save us from. So With that, guys, I love you. You have a blessed day, and we'll see you tomorrow.